We continue from where we left. The shot fired by Yaa Asantewaa didn't just echo in that room. It ignited a forest fire across the entire kingdom. Within days, an army of 20,000 Ashanti warriors assembled under her spiritual and tactical command. She was named the war leader of the Ashanti forces, the first and only woman to ever hold that title. By April 1900, Yaa Asantewa's forces completely encircled the British fort at Kumasi. They constructed massive, intricate stockades made of heavy logs and earth, stretching for miles through the dense jungle. These hidden fortresses blocked every road, trapping Governor Hodgson, his wife, and a small garrison of colonial troops inside. Weeks turned into months. Inside the fort, food ran out. Water became contaminated. Disease swept through the ranks, and the cries of the starving filled the courtyard. Outside, the Ashanti maintained an iron grip. Every time the British attempted a breakout, the jungle erupted with gunfire. Yet Asantewaa had turned the hunters into the hunted. Realizing they would starve to death, Governor Hodgson gathered a desperate escape party in late June. Under the cover of a torrential downpour, they slipped through a weak point in the Ashanti lines, fleeing toward the coast and leaving a small, doomed garrison behind to hold the fort. But the British Empire did not suffer defeat lightly. The news of a besieged fort led by a grandmother outraged London. A massive relief column under Colonel James Wilcox was dispatched, armed with the latest tools of industrial warfare. Maxims, 7-pounder mountain guns, and thousands of heavily armed soldiers drawn from across Britain's global colonies. What followed was a brutal, asymmetric war that raged through the suffocating heat of the West African jungle for the rest of the year. The British relief column had to fight for every single inch of ground. Yaa Asantewa's stockade were engineering masterpieces, bulletproof, camouflaged, and laid out in defensive traps. When British artillery blasted the stockade, the Ashanti would melt away into the dense bush, only to ambush the column further down the trail. The British resorted to scorched earth tactics. To break the rebellion's logistical spine, they burned entire farming villages to the ground, destroyed food stores, and laid waste the countryside. For months, the sky above the Ashanti region was perpetually choked with black smoke. Despite their incredible bravery and tactical brilliance, the Ashanti warriors were eventually outgunned by the relentless arrival of imperial reinforcements and heavy artillery. By the late autumn of 1900, the British finally broke the siege of Kumasi, but the resistance in the hills fought on fiercely until the final days of the year. In 1901, after nearly a year of continuous bloody warfare, the rebellion was officially suppressed. To completely sever the head of the resistance, the British arrested Nana, Yaa Asantewaa, and several prominent chiefs, exiling them thousands of miles away to the remote Seychelles Islands in the Indian Ocean, where she would eventually pass away 2 decades later. The British won the war. They annexed the Ashanti kingdom, absorbing it into their empire. But look closer at the ashes of that conflict. The British got the land, but they never got what they marched into Kumasi to find. Throughout the entire year of blood, through the burning of villages and the hunting of rebels, the Ashanti kept their promise to the ancestors. It was buried deep in the sacred soil, shielded by a network of keepers who swore oaths of absolute silence. Sir Frederick Hodgson never sat upon it. The British Empire never laid a finger on it. Yaa Asantewaa lost her freedom, but she saved her nation's soul. By keeping the Sika DWA Kofi safe, she ensured that the spirit of the Ashanti remained unbroken. Today, her name stands forever as a testament to defiance. The grandmother who looked at the world's most powerful empire, picked up a rifle and said, "We will fight." Subscribe for more Ghana history.